Today's show is a very unique and enlightening one. We're going to take courses in universities open on the streets of TikTok and take flights to Japan where innovation is happening. All that and more here on Naija Pulse Podcast, where gist meets with governance for the culture for the future.
That's right. It's your favorite dynamic duo, always serving with the hottest trend and the juiciest gist. My name is Adinla, and riding with me is...
Becca Beckis! And as per usual, we're ready to rock and roll. So... Universities on TikTok, Saidaboj University versus Gheghe University. Thinking about this, I saw all of the content and I was just like, what is really happening? What is really happening?
Well, as a new Gheghe student, the excitement is up. Now, for me, I think Gheghe is all about training men to be street smart while they're also financially prudent. And at the same time, it kind of boosts the confidence of men to make you, no one can talk you down when you listen to Gheghe too much, especially the species from the female gender. Yeah.
I'm rolling my eyes because the song he released for Saidaboj was very vulgar. And I'm not saying that she's right, don't get me wrong, because her coming out to say, girls, always tax your man. Before you open your legs, make sure he drops money. Before you go anywhere to meet him, make sure he drops money. I'm just like, this is not what young girls should be encouraged to do. And maybe I'm talking from a place where I'm a workaholic, or I like to do things in a prim and proper way. I'm not trying to judge anybody, but for her to boldly come out to say this is a no-go area for me, in my opinion.
I thought you would be doing women supporting women. But
no, in this case, no. But
then it's fine. I think Saidaboj shares a different opinion from Gheghe. I think somehow she also wants women to also know their worth, but then the way she's sending her message
is wrong.
Yeah, quite misleading.
Even Gheghe itself is wrong in so many things that he's saying, in my opinion. I'm like, why are you telling me that, or telling men rather, not to date girls that are students because what their father cannot provide for them, what are they coming to ask you, the guy, to provide for them? Or don't date your ex or a girl who has a guy that she's talking to. Yeah, the advice are just making my skin crawl. But it's crazy that a lot of people are actually listening to him.
Yeah, because it seems like him coming from the angle of making men smart, streetwise, and then know how to manage your money. Don't let any girl come and put you under pressure that you owe her some kind of responsibility just because you guys profess to love each other. No.
Okay, that's why. There's an ounce of truth in that, don't get me wrong. I mean, love is not supposed to be transactional. Yeah, love is supposed to be a two-way street. I give you, you give me. I rub your back, you rub my back. I scratch your back, you scratch my back. But one thing that actually blew my mind is how when he went on his Gheghe University live, he got over 30,000 US dollars gifts.
That's crazy.
He broke the record of over 170,000 people joining in.
Now it feels like Gheghe spoke the mind of many guys out there. So it looks like the society where we are is a society where there has to be romance for finance, and a lot of men were dying in silence. So Gheghe came like a messiah, like, yes, you said what we were wanting to hear. Yeah, that's right.
I think this is cause and effect, because if you think about ballers, right? Ballers like to show their babes that they get back, right? They buy them the latest Birkin bags, they buy them cars, they take them to clubs, they pop bottles. It's not far-fetched for women to say like, you want me to come over?
Guy, you do, why not you?
Why not you? So it's cause and effect. If you want to be, a big boy, younger boys that are watching you be a big boy want to emulate that. Hence, the high rate of yahoo.
I get. That pushes a lot of guys into so many pressure. That's why you find so many of them
cause
in
and
the
effect.
Police next and all of that.
Cause and effect.
Let's say Gheghe is a social messiah, saving young guys these days from all of this kind of pressure and all of that. So somehow,
who do you think is winning though?
Gheghe.
Saidaboj, I think she just likes to be on the lips of everybody, making tongues wag. But I think at the end of the day, in her heart of heart, she's just doing this thing for clout. I don't think she's someone that applies this in her everyday life. She just wants to be like, who can I use as an example? Remember when Tasha started, ex-Big Brother Nigerian housemate? She used to do this as well. She tattooed Davido behind her bosom, was always saying nonsense. And then when she went to the Big Brother house and came back, she rebranded. And now who she is now is completely different from who she was outside of the house as well. So I think if Saidaboj ever goes into Big Brother house, her rebranding will be different. I think she just wants to be on the lips of everyone,
Probably she just wants to gain their attention, then come out with the real Saidaboj. So let's just see. Fingers crossed.
Gheghe University versus Saidaboj University. Crazy things are really happening.
A proud student of Gheghe University.
I'm not here with you. I'm not here with you at all. Girls, hustle. Do not let any man disrespect you. When they ask you what you bring to the table, bring out your portfolio. Tell them, I do this, I do that. I earn this amount of money, and I'm a woman of substance. So no man ever disrespects you.
And I think on that, Bella's mother was right, because he put up a tweet and it goes like this. It says, a secured woman that's offering value doesn't have anything to be scared of or triggered by Gheghe or MKO's video. MKO is another guy that does similar content to Gheghe.
Okay.
Most of his contents are always in Yoruba language. So then he said, my ladies, just be valuable. No man is ready to lose that.
Period.
And values does not necessarily mean money. So in other words, it doesn't mean you are giving money, but then no one loses what is valuable to them. So
I agree. Yeah. Ladies, bring something to the table so that there's some respect on your name. And men, even if you have money, show some respect to women. It's not every time you take them out to eat food outside that you say, oh yeah, come and open your legs inside my room. The way you are, being promiscuous, you will have a reputation where it's not the only money that guy gets, I bet me he gets that, that kind of thing. So that's the way you want women to be valuable as a man as well. It goes both ways. Okay. So now graduating from universities of Banta, let's take a trip abroad to Japan precisely. Of course, you know that recently TICAD 9 happened and a lot of African leaders came together. And the heads of states and the government of Japan and African Union members together with co-organizers, that is African Union Commission, that's AUC, United Nations, UNDP, and World Bank all came together at Yokohama, Japan for the 9th Tokyo International Conference of African Development. And this is TICAD 9 as we all know it. This conference is where Japan and African leaders all come together to discuss trade, investment, and partnership and how, Africa can be put on the map precisely. And our very own President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made his appearance, and that was where he made his remarks during his session. He reaffirmed inclusivity, diversity, and also said the rule of law remains Nigeria's greatest strength, which I actually do agree. And this collaboration has led and opened doors for a lot of innovation to come into play.
That's right. And of course, when the president took this trip to Japan, there were a lot of criticisms, and some also praised the president on this trip. But then let's look at the positive takeouts from this trip to Japan. Now, let's look at, first, the president said he raised security concerns in Japan. And looking at Nigeria, looking at Africa, we experience a lot of insecurity issues here and there. Of course, the Nigerian president praised the Nigerian armed forces for how well they've tried to kind of improve security in Nigeria. But of course, there's still a lot to be done. But the president is seen from the angle of tackling the root cause of insecurity, which according to him, he said, poverty, lack of opportunities, these are the root cause to insecurity. And of course, I'm thinking that if truly our youths, our Nigerian people, have something profitable they are doing, nobody would think of carrying a gun and causing problems of insecurity here and there. And lack of opportunities, this is what is making our people to japa. But then imagine somebody that does not have money to japa. What do you expect? He has to survive, hence leading to the problem of insecurity here and there. So I really do agree with the president.
This makes me think, if there were job opportunities in Nigeria, a lot of people will not be going on Gheghe's life to be saying, I'm a graduate of Gheghe University.
Well, I'm a student of Gheghe University.
Are you jobless? Anyway, you're on this podcast, so you're not jobless. But at the end of the day, though, in the core north, south, east, and west, if these opportunities are, planted and opened there, I hope and I pray that an idle mind will not become the devil's workshop. Yeah. So I'm speaking in more respect to our president's remark in TICAD 9, he talked about Nigeria at the global table. So one of the strongest points President Bola Ahmed Tinubu made was about global representation. He called for Africa to have permanent seats on the United Nations Security Council. He said we as Africans and Nigeria at large should not just be observers. We should have veto power. We should have full power, including veto rights. And his message is, and I quote, Africa deserves a say in major decision-making shaping the world. We are the giant of Africa. We should have a say. So that when there is war brewing, Nigerian president can come and say, I order you not to release those missiles. And it's going to be a final decision. But yeah, this is a great way to, make us on the map or put us on the map, pretty much.
That's true. So it's okay to say now that President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's trip to Japan is one that focuses on putting Africa at that spot where Africa should have a say.
There's a lot of benefits.
Yeah, and also making Nigeria a major beneficiary of that. So that's right. And also, I think this would also bring about improvements in our energy sector because, of course, Nigerians all over can actually attest to the fact that since President Bola Ahmed Tinubu came, there has been improvements in the energy sector. But then, with what I am seeing right now, I think we are just getting started, and there's still going to be more improvement. Because from what I see, there is 238 million loan from Japan to improve our electricity grid. This is a massive win for Nigeria. So get ready. This electricity improvement we're seeing is just the starting point. There's still more wins.
Adela, electricity grid that falls every AK market day. Electricity grid that's falling bomb. In Lagos, in Abuja, every time.
Hopefully with this now, we stop having problem of falling electricity grid every now and then. So, and also there's also a $190 million renewable energy project coming to Nigeria. This is amazing from Japan. And also there's $32 million in dollars grants for substations in Abuja, Lagos, and Nasarawa. This is massive.
I do you know why I love this? This $190 million that you talked about is going to bring electricity to underdeveloped cities, states, villages. So a lot of people that do not enjoy the benefits of the city will not be enjoying band A, band B tariff. But I'm thinking about us that are living in the city, like us now in Abuja now. ADC people will just come to our houses, press the meter, take our meter number, and before you know it, they've upgraded us to band A.
Ooh.
And then before you know it, there's a higher level in band A, and I do not understand why.
But you are enjoying more electricity supply.
Make I no lie, Sha. During this tenure, we did enjoy light.
Now, Nigerians have also raised this concern all over, and they are saying, okay, fine, we're enjoying better electricity supply, but I think this is more expensive.
It's too
right
expensive.
Now. So I think there needs to be some kind of regulation on that. But then, this would also be a positive for our industry and infrastructural improvements in Nigeria because energy seems to be one of those major concerns, one of those major problems in the past. But with this, I think there's a boost in the energy sector.
When you say this, it takes me back to the early 2000s when a lot of president candidates would come out and say, my manifesto is 24 hours electricity in Nigeria. I don't think that will ever be anything they'll propose to us again.
When the president was actually on his campaign then, and he said, if I don't give you electricity, don't vote for me. It seems like, this is where you will feel. This is where we will get you. No. This is not 24 hours yet, but I think we're close to it. We're close.
Actually, in Ghana, back in the day, if they actually wanted to take the light, they would announce it. Nigeria still didn't learn work in that aspect.
No. Maybe we're coming close. So very soon we'll get there.
All right, moving on, and still speaking about more remarks made by President Bola Ahmed Tinubu. He touched on capacity building for the nation. This is where youths will benefit a lot from. He said, and I quote, beyond the money Japan is giving us, they're also going to be helping in training. He said a new facility is being set up to equip Nigerian engineers with skills to maintain and empower and expand our power systems. So this is not just about projects, it's also about, building human capacity Hence, new job employment. Hence, people growing and harnessing their skills. Hence, people coming out to say, I don't want to be a doctor. I don't want to be a lawyer. I want to be an engineer. I want to go into the school that this Japan innovation has brought to the shores of Nigeria. And now we can start producing phones, producing machineries, and these machineries can be used, during building construction.
That's true.
So a lot of doors are being opened, and a lot of youths are actually going to have diverse occupations that they can, harness. Pretty much.
Looking at the benefits from President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's trip to Japan, somebody comes to mind, and that's Cubana Chief Priest, Money Na Water. I just keep seeing a lot of huge amount of money here, and also the Japanese Prime Minister has also pledged $5.5 billion for Africa. This is massive, and according to him, these monies will be directed at private sectors in Africa. Also, youth and women empowerment. This is massive. And of course, Nigeria is going to benefit from this massive. That is amazing.
Yeah. And speaking about investment, our Odogu, the very first person of, very first person of Nigeria, President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has made it clear that Nigeria's goal is to attract $1 billion. No be 1 million or 2 million or $1 billion in trade and investment from Japan. So Nigeria will be a very big market for exporting, and this includes opportunities in technology, green innovation, industrial growth, positioning Nigeria as a key hub for West Africa.
This is actually amazing. And looking at all of this, you can just see that President Tinubu is just on the right track to achieving that $1 trillion economy he plans to achieve in 5 years. This is amazing.
Huge win in all of this sector. Technology, power, electricity, security. But let's go to the aviation space. I have this great news, and I'm sure a lot of you have heard it, and I know Adela and I know about this. So after President Bola Ahmed Tinubu attended TICAD 9, he flew straight from Japan to Brazil, where Nigeria has more bragging rights. So there's now a connecting flight from Lagos to Brazil, and apparently President Bola Ahmed Tinubu signed a very crucial business agreement to create direct flights between these two countries, and also in the agricultural sector as well. So this agreement will also generate massive livestock investment inflow, and it is a great win. So let's talk about the aviation space first. So this agreement has opened direct flight, like I said, from Sao Paulo and Lagos, and there are going to be international flights called Varig Air. This is a Brazil airline. And Nigeria airline Epis.
That is amazing.
Hey!
Big one.
Epis!
Now, to me, I would even say President Bola Ahmed Tinubu's visit to Brazil is more like a relationship check. Because in recent time, this is not the first time President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is visiting Brazil. And it seems to look like Nigeria and Brazil, we have this cordial
rub your back,
relationship.
I rub my back.
Hey,
shake buddy.
This is amazing.
Oh, yeah, shake buddy. Hey, I love it.
Yeah.
Talk about the agricultural collaboration.
Well, if you look at the agricultural collaboration with Nigeria and Brazil, I think Nigeria stands to gain a lot because Brazil, in world agriculture, Brazil stands at a very high ranking. In fact, one of the world powers when it comes to agriculture. Now, they will be helping Nigeria when it comes to
powerhouse,
and all of that. Now, more mechanized farming will be coming to Nigeria.
Tractors will be available.
That's a huge win for Nigerian agricultural sector. And maybe very soon, we'll stop hearing this problem of we are hungry, that Nigerians are shouting. And even some politicians are also using that as a tool to campaign, we are hungry. So very soon, I hope the problem of hunger will be solved in Nigeria with this relationship of Nigeria and Brazil. That's nice. Yeah.
And tapping into that, through platforms like Project Ninja, Nigeria continues to strengthen its startup ecosystem with NITDA, that's NITDA. This opens room for commitment so that more supports will be coming for Nigerian women entrepreneurs, fostering innovation, building global partnership, and inclusive growth. So women, come on board. This Project Ninja is for you to be an entrepreneur, for you to, be in the global market, build your strength and growth. This is very powerful. So yeah, guys, Google Project Ninja, and this is an ecosystem with NITDA. That's NITDA. Knowledge is power. Knowledge is power. So tell a friend to tell a friend about this project.
And also in the aviation sector, it's not just about a direct trip from Nigeria to Brazil or from Brazil to Nigeria. I think there is more attached to that, because looking at that, we can start to have this cultural exchange. There will be room for, improvements in our business relationship, Nigeria and Brazil. And I think this is a big win. But then, Airpeace, wow. Allen Oyema cut soap for us, because Airpeace direct fly from Nigeria to Brazil. That's amazing.
I need to know the soap that this man is bathing with, because I think it's the only airline that can fly from Lagos
Nigeria to Brazil direct.
And also Nigeria to London as well.
Yeah, as well, yes. That's it.
Big man
Allen
doing
Oyema
big things.
cut soap for us.
All right, so to wrap this episode up, Nigeria's participation at TICAD 9 wasn't just symbolic. It is something to write home. It brought in real commitment in energy, infrastructure, investment, global advocacy, and job opportunities. So the next step is making sure that these agreements come into play. Yeah. These agreements are implemented so that young Nigerians can actually feel the impact. Reliable electricity
I
as
really
well.
I really do hope that soonest we'll start seeing the transfer from the macroeconomic win to the microeconomic win. So the common man on the street can start feeling this benefit of President Tinubu's trip to Japan and to Brazil. And I think this is a win-win-win for Africa in general and for Nigeria in particular. Big ups to this administration. A lot has been done, but then there's still a whole lot to be done.
All I can think about is you can bank on it, and you can also bank on us here on Naija Pulse Podcast. We're gist for governance, for the culture, for the future. And I remain your host, Becca Beckett.
Till we come your way again, I remain my humble self, Adinla. Stay safe, stay blessed. And then, Becca, I've got a class in 30 minutes. Gheghe University of Wisdom and Understanding.
Oh my God, I'm not part of this thing at all. Guys, do well to follow us on all our social media platforms. Instagram on Naija Pulse Podcast, on X at Naija Pulse Pod, on TikTok and Naija Pulse Podcast, and on our YouTube channel. Do well to like, subscribe, and share at Naija Pulse Podcast. Mwah! See you next week.